Hello? 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 Uh-oh. Discord did not connect. One moment. Starting the stream a little early. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Alright, cool. I'm going to go ahead and start a little earlier. I had a 30-minute timer and about 6 minutes, 7 minutes ticked by, and I figured, fuck it.
Yeah, why not? I'm playing Duel Links right now, and I'm playing one of the most clutches I've ever clutched.
Hell yeah. I'm going to take a minute just to kind of introduce what's going on here, who I am, and who you are as well. This is just kind of a, I wouldn't even say podcast, just kind of more of just a chill out talk show. There's not a whole lot that I probably wouldn't want to talk about here. That being said, though, there are other things that I think most people can agree we should probably just avoid talking about. I don't think that needs to be stated what those things are. I think we all know that there's trigger subjects to just not bring up. Seems kind of like a dumb reason to like have to state that, but I don't want anybody getting flared on the fucking internet. Anyways, this is just a general talk show. We might just spend an hour talking about some random bullshit. We might, I don't know, we might work on talking about something that we might be working on ourselves. We might just be fucking sitting here for an hour or two talking about anime. It's really just whatever we feel like. I wouldn't even really call it a podcast as much as an interaction with the server. By server, I mean our Discord server. And I'm updating my stream right now to include the link. It's not there for some reason. But, I mean, it's kind of just more for our server, I would say. Like, I know I created it, but I'm definitely not the only person that uses it. Like, there's no damn way. Anyways, that sounded a little weird. What are you up to, Black, besides Duel Links?
And just trying to enjoy it. I mean, it's carnival season, so it's gonna be a lot of music, partying, that kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. Trying to make sure you're not coming in. I think you're coming in a little too quiet on my end. So let me boost you.
Oh shit! Well, I'm talking on the phone right now because my computer is real shit. So
No, you're good. You sound clear. I just want to make sure that you're coming in at a good level.
yeah, well, my friggin' computer can't run. It's a really bad one. So it can't like run two things at the same time. So usually I just switch over to my phone.
Which I don't blame you. Hey, Arthur, he's in here. I do have, I believe, I'm hoping that it's appearing. There should be YouTube chat appearing on screen. If it's not, then the frickin' widget's broken again. If that's the frickin' case, I'm just gonna have to read it off of this. But I do have I have a live chat channel on the Discord that is seemingly working for the moment.
I tuned into the friggin' podcast on my phone while I was talking, and it just went crazy.
But yeah, I'm gonna take a moment just to kind of introduce me, and then you can introduce yourself. I'm Saros, Chris, whatever the fuck you want to call me. I just uploaded this channel. It's my channel. I upload whatever I want, point blank, like. And really, other than that, I am the creator of this still-to-be-named server, ergo everything being named Nameless. But past that, I really just try to be everyone's friend. I know everyone's got bad days and good topics and good days and all this other shit, so hopefully we have a lot of decent, fun time on here talking. Other than that, a lot of D&D. A lot of fucking D&D.
Dude, we should stream D&D later if everyone comes.
I've heavily thought about it. I just want to get the art assets together for people so that, like, say, you know, you encounter a goblin and he might look a specific way. I'd like to have some art to just throw up on screen and do that. But that's also hard to do while dungeon mastering, so it'd be a lot easier if I could find somebody who could stream for us and do that stuff on command. But it's hard finding somebody who has A, the internet to do it, and B, the time to do it.
Yeah, that's always like the problem with anything, really. It's just like time and like availability. That's the only real, like, main thing that affects it.
Right, and that's why a lot of my streams are so sporadic. They happen when people are online. But regardless, go ahead and take a moment and introduce yourself, Black.
My name is Jet Black. My real first name is Ishmael. I prefer when people call me it, but everyone just calls me Black. And before anyone asks, yes, I am actually black.
Yeah, there's no just no colorism or racism going on here. Well,
no.
I mean, it could quickly take that turn.
But there's always people who like, his name is Jet Black. Is he actually black? And it's like,
Yeah, I kind of get what you're saying. I know for a fact that a couple people have joined the server about we've gotten to know. Their first question about you was, is he really black? And I'm like, yeah, why does that matter? he's from a different part of the world and happens to be the same color as his name. Whoopee.
Yeah, it's like, it's common
But
question.
to be fair, sometimes you don't, to be fair, you don't even sound like the part of the world that I expected you to sound like. I don't know what I expected, but when I found out where you lived, your accent, before I heard you without no accent, which was a mindfuck. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my big brother at the time, and I switched back and forth like almost instantly, and it fucked up you guys.
It really did mindfuck me. Alright, I've never had someone around me that had their accent turned off and then turned back on, but speaking the same language. I mean, you're using some native language as well as English. I mean, like, you guys got your own words and refer to other things for things and idioms and such. So, like, there's obviously stuff I wasn't understanding, but like at some point I was like, he's speaking English. There was something else in there, but I couldn't understand what the fuck you were saying. And then you turned it off and you're like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm just speaking without my accent. It's a lot fucking easier to speak without it, or with it. And I'm just like, what? Like, I knew it was you, but it didn't sound like you.
No, basically it's like, when the people came to my country, right? It was mostly like, it was French, and obviously the English and the Spanish,
Yep.
And over time, like, stuff get mixed up. So we say a few words that maybe are influenced by the French,
Mm-hmm.
So like, even though we're using it in an English sentence, it still comes from like French origin, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I can totally understand that. I mean, that's kind of a big reason that English is so, I wouldn't say easy to learn. I would say English is one of the harder languages to learn, just because it's such a mishmash of so many other languages.
I would say English and French are really hard to learn, because they both have like the basic stuff, like past tense, conjugating verbs,
Yeah.
I can, like, trust me, if I spoke French all my life and I had to learn English, it would be pretty difficult.
Now, I did take a couple of years of Chinese, and I can safely say that, for me at least, and I wasn't like an A+ student in there, I was probably C, D at most, just because I was, trying to learn a completely different language. I mean, I'm a pasty white guy, all right? I grew up with English. But everybody else in my class, maybe minus one or two other fellow students, were of Asian descent, so they had some prior experience, at least with their grandparents or their parents, speaking some dialect of something from that part of the world. So for pronunciation-wise and recognition-wise of some characters and sounds, they were ahead of me. But I honest to God believe that Chinese was probably one of the easier languages I could have chosen if I had grown up with it. If I were a child that had grown up with it, bam, easy peasy. But I think that's the same with any child. English I can kind of understand it being like, well, yeah, it's really fucking simple for kids to pick up on. But I don't know. From what I experienced in Chinese, I'm like, this is a really nifty, handy language. They've got a phrase for just about everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, dude, I would love to learn. It's so like, I keep talking about French, but I really want to learn French, Chinese, and German.
Well, I mean, if you can learn French, you can probably learn German. They're not identical, but they do share a Romanized alphabet as well as some similarities. I mean, like a lot of Western Europe. Is that right? Yeah. No, Eastern Europe. That's Eastern Europe. Fuck, I get my directions mixed up. But France, Germany, England, Spain. If you can learn one of those languages, you can usually learn the next one that's like pretty close to it. And like in that area, you can usually kind of pick up on each of those languages. Spanish and English are not different, like very similar. Just Spanish is a lot faster in getting your point across. French and Spanish are all too similar. They're just basically flip-flops of each other in different countries. German has a lot of male and female words, like masculine and effeminate words, and there's a lot of pronunciation. I mean that's a step up, but I would say you could still learn it if you learn French or Spanish or English.
My best friend actually, I think my best friend and his girlfriend are learning German. And
Right.
pronunciation is the biggest part of it, because if you mess up one thing, no one will probably understand you.
And a lot of the culture, I mean, the people, they don't seem like they're friendly, but that's just kind of how they are. Like, they're friendly ass people. They're super friendly, super chatty people. Just everybody rides the train to the same place. Like, they don't want to fucking talk to every person, but not saying hello, goodbye, and excuse me. You're kind of rude still, and really not knowing how to pronounce those things could really just make you seem like a dickbag. And that's just something that's just like, I think you have to learn really with any language, but at the same time, you got to also take the culture into consideration when you learn a language. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's basically just don't be a weeaboo for other languages, in general.
Basically, learn it with some respect, and get to know at least the culture. Because if you're not going to get to know the culture, then why are you learning the language?
Yeah. Well, it's like another thing is like if you're gonna like, even if you don't know the language, at least respect the culture. They would like having respect is really important part of it.
Yeah, I mean. Let's not confuse what our definition of respect is with Jake Paul or Logan Paul or whatever the fuck his name's version of respect is in a foreign world. That is not respectful. We're talking about not trashing the public, and being quiet and respectful and actually learning some language to actually do on our own.
So yeah, it's like, if you're gonna go somewhere else, at least keep in mind, okay, I'll ask someone for some advice, or at least,
Yeah.
Because like everything I heard about Japan is they're friendly ass people. You're not gonna get swerved that much,
Right.
if
right.
at all. So like, if he had went up to the temple and just asked someone like, how do you do this, or blah blah blah, they would probably explain to him. But no, he decided to throw coins in it like some asshole. So fucking. Anyways. I don't want to talk about that. That topic has gone a long time. But like,
I mean, if it means anything, Logan Paul or whatever one of the Pauls just fucked himself over. He just got all ads banned on his channel.
Fucking, I don't know. I don't deal with that YouTube business. I don't even think I can get monetized in my country.
I mean, YouTube just made it a lot stricter to get monetized. I used to be able to have links in my videos. Everybody used to. You could just like link a straw poll or whatever, another channel, or etc. You used to be able to just link stuff in your videos. Found out I couldn't do that anymore. I was surprised.
I
mean, I was just trying to streamline a little card just to let people click and go into the Discord, but whatever. It's just they've really cracked down on what you can actually do without a viewer base, and it kind of sucks. I mean, it really does kind of suck. It really kind of puts a damper on like the smaller creators, because it's like, well, if you don't have 1,000 hours of watch time or whatever the fuck it is, and this certain amount of subscribers, like, you are not even considered viable for advertisement or even moving up in the platform. You basically have to work your ass off to hit this plateau, and even when you hit that plateau, all you get is a green light to make a little bit more money, or to look better on the platform, to basically either look like a douchebag that's working for the money to have a YouTube career, or somebody who's just built themselves from what they've done and is happy to be where they're at, and they might still go further places.
I'll say at this day and age, if you're planning on doing YouTube, do it as like a hobby instead of like actual like life goal work, you know, because most of the people who are still making money off of YouTube, they started while it was really easy.
Right.
So yeah, their life is set in stone. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna start YouTube in this day, especially with all this controversy and easily triggered people, I'd just say do it as a hobby, and if it grows, then maybe, I'm not saying quit your job or anything, but like, you know, it's like if you grow, it's a little extra money in your pocket if you're getting monetized and stuff, you know?
Right. I mean, personally, I look at it more as like, do it as a hobby. Do YouTube as a hobby. If you really want to try and make some money, Twitch is sadly going to be the better way to go. As much as I do like YouTube, they just don't have as much room for little streamers or creators to grow. Like, there's not the kind of filter where it's like, I'm in the mood for some Resident Evil. So you find the Resident Evil game on Twitch, you click it, here's a bunch of streams, here's a bunch of videos uploaded recently. You have your pick, and there's just, you know, new faces are constantly recommended, or, you know, your tried and trues that you've followed are recommended. Whereas YouTube, it's just like, hey, this person's streaming. That's it. And half the time, there's no real clarity. You can't just search. I mean, you can just search Fortnite stream, but 90% of the time, you're going to get the streamers who have, you know, 5,000+ viewers, maybe 10,000+, and then all the little guys are just kind of lost somewhere. It used to be you could just look for every result. Now it seems like little people on YouTube are just hidden. Or little channels, not little people.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't understand what you're saying, but like, yeah, it's been a lot harder for people to like get the startup on YouTube, because YouTube is just pushing the big people, you know.
Well, YouTube's like, also not trying to have another controversy on their hands, and Logan Paul has pushed his luck a little too fucking much. I'm not angry. I'm not some bitter old YouTuber. I mean, I've just watched this website from Jesus, when I was like 10 or 11. Like, I used to watch just like stupid like action figure fighting, like some kid with action figures fighting, like it was stop motion. Like, that was what I grew up with on YouTube, and then it evolved into comedy, and then it evolved into news, and eventually evolved into somewhat of a social media for me. Like, I don't see it as like gossip social media. I just see it more as it's a way to intertwine and connect networks, to meet people and do cool interactive things just for your viewers, not for the money in it. So, people get too blinded by the money.
Yeah. I mean, it's all people like go overboard as soon as they get a little popular, because it's like it goes to their heads really quickly, because it's like, I have this fan base, they'll follow me like no matter where I go. I'm sure these guys won't mind whatever I'm doing. And like, people will just be doing stuff no matter what it is, and like they'll keep getting viewers. Their current viewers will keep supporting them, and it's only like till the big wigs are like, okay, maybe we should stop this guy. Then
that's usually what it happens. It usually takes one big head person to have to go, okay, this isn't right.
Yeah. But when at the end of the day, once they're making a lot of money and like they don't even have to try that much, it's like, just let him do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's still making us money, but that's kind of what I was saying though with the with Logan Paul, or whichever fucking Paul. Well, we'll just call him Paul B. There's Paul A and Paul B. We'll just say Paul B is the one that's in trouble again. He is he had done something, I guess, tasing dead rats or some shit. Either way,
What?
yeah. Either way, YouTube is like, yeah, we're removing all ads from his channel temporarily. It's like, okay, cool, but you do realize that he doesn't really need the ads. He makes most of his money off of merch. That's what most people really don't like about the guy, is that he's manipulated children into looking at him as like a god, and that buying his, you know, his shirt, it makes you a disciple of his fucking pseudo gang.
Yeah, yeah. Hold on, give me a sec. I'm just gonna like switch the PC really quick.
Okay.
And
Go for it.
basically, one. Boom! I'm on PC now.
Alrighty.
Yeah, that's much better.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, and it's pretty true for most phones. Your phone's microphone sounds better, but that's kind of just because phone microphones are designed to sound better in, you know, noisy environments and stuff. And I'm not saying you're noisy. I'm just saying, like, I can tell the difference.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like when you were on the phone, it's like, wow, you sound much more different to me. It's like, okay,
Right.
it's like this. It's like is this the same guy? Because like even like a PC speakers make you sound even more different.
Yeah, I realized, like, yeah, I have a higher pitched voice, and I know for a fact this mic really doesn't fucking give me any credit.
It seems when you're on like a clearer mic, it sounds deeper actually.
Well, I mean, either way, it's just one of those things, like, I know I don't have the ballsiest, deepest voice, but it's also just kind of like, with some mics, I sound way different, and with other mics, I sound about what I expect, at least
I
to
would
say.
on your voice range is like, it's like normal leaning into deep for me, kind of. Because like when I'm watching like Grill's Snapchats and stuff, and like you're in them,
Yeah.
it's like you sounded a little higher, but not by that much.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just because I talk in a lot of different ranges. I'm either, you know, like quiet and kind of loud, or not loud, but kind of bassy, or I'm high pitched and chatting, and I don't know. Like I can do some voices that don't fit my voice.
Somebody put your voice in random.
Basically, it's basically what happened. I can do some things and I can't do other things. Like I can do some kinds of voices or ranges, but other things you expect, you know, a guy to do, like get really deep, I can't do that. I just sound like an idiot.
I mean, basically for my voice, it's like Kevin Hart in a kind of way, you know, like when I'm acting comedic, it's like really high, but then when I'm serious, it's not. When I'm serious, it's not low, but it's
not completely like it's not completely lowered in volume or pitch. It's just kind of, you got some more substance to your voice.
Yeah.
Here, give me a split second. I'm gonna go get a bottle of water.
Yeah.
I fucking forgot.
I just, like, as soon as you told me you were eating, I was like, as soon as you like messaged me that, I was like, I just finished eating like some barbecue and rice. Yeah. Okay.
And we back. There we go. Sorry about that. I would say 99% of the time, like when I stream or I do D&D or something, I've got everything ready like an hour beforehand, but seemingly every time I get ready to stream, I either have like 2-3 bottles of water ready or I don't have any. And this happened to be one of the fucking times I didn't have any ready.
So, you don't, like, I feel that same, like, that happens to me a lot, but it's not, like, about streaming or, like, talking, it's, like, getting ready for something, or, like, packing clothes. I always forget something really important. and, like, it's always, as soon as I leave my house, and I'm, like, halfway there, it then clicks, oh, shit, I forgot a spare pair of boxer shorts.
Hey, Slim Cut!
Slim Cut?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you forget about the boy, the Slim Cut?
I mean, Slim Cut was the original. He lives in the Caribbean too.
Spoilers. You DDoSed him, giving away his general vicinity of whatever thousands of miles that covers.
Fucking someone just like tunes in on the stream and it's just like they like take off sunglasses and they're like, we found him. Started nuking all the islands leading up.
Do not underestimate the internet. All right, you had people on 4chan triangulating fucking Shia LaBeouf's little "we will not" whatever his art exhibit thing. Right?
Oh, I heard that.
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 seasons of this shit of people fucking going at it.
Yes, I was watching Lazy Cast by Joltoid and like Doopy, and I was like, huh. I wonder what they're talking about this time. You know, I'm watching the live stream. Next thing you know, they told this entire story about people tracking Shia LaBeouf's fucking flag. What was the flag about again?
Originally it was the webcam of "He Will Not Divide Us."
Oh yeah.
And then that kind of turned into a shit show. So he put up a lone simple flag up in the middle of nowhere. People found that. So if I remember right, he moved it to a rooftop somewhere, either in America or France. Yeah, and they found it, and they had to go like parkouring for that shit. And then the newest one is just sitting in someone's like bedroom. Like they know where it's at, but it's like one of his friend's bedrooms. It's like no one's gonna break into the house to steal it, so there it sits.
Fucking, I think there was one in like England as well.
Yeah, I'll look up the playlist I watch. I watch Internet Historian's playlist on that shit. Very entertaining. Very funny guy.
I have to admit, that is, I mean, just the situation of people like tracking down and stealing that fucking flag. It's pretty comical.
Never underestimate people wanting to fuck with someone famous. And I don't mean that in a malicious way. I mean that in, they could have done a million fucking things to Shia LaBeouf, but they chose to screw with his art exhibit. That shows just what kind of people the internet is, alright? They're not out to get you, they're out to fuck with you.
Yeah, and it's not like they're out to fuck with you, like, ruining your life. It's like, it's teasing you. Yeah,
exactly, like, you know, it's very much a tease. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? Put it back up somewhere else?
It's like a standard tree, like children's prank, you know. It's like, if you put it up again, I'll take it. Don't put it back.
I will agree with Slim Cut though. Like sometimes people are just amazing. Like you think about it and you're like, these people triangulated flight patterns and clouds and landscapes, and they all only have like Google Maps and just like some know-how.
Just to find a flag.
Yeah. Just to find a flag to fuck with Shia LaBeouf, who hasn't really, honestly, even by his own description, been famous for a while. He hasn't been mainstream famous in a couple years, but he's managed to hang in there with these crazy kind of art routines and stunts or whatever the fuck he calls it as.
I mean, I wouldn't call them publicity stunts necessarily, but
I wouldn't either. I would say they're more like public. I guess public exhibits.
Yeah, I guess that would be the right term.
Unless that means
something else in someone's eyes.
I mean, it's artful, yeah, but at the same time, it's very public, and you're wanting people to interact with it. Well, initially he wanted people to interact with it, till people started fucking screaming "Ree!" in front of the camera and shit, and getting robbed.
Oh shit!
I think there was a case of somebody fucking in front of it.
Oh god.
Shia LaBeouf, yeah, he was the kid in the first two Transformers with Bumblebee. He was also in Holes. He was also in was it?
He was also in that Even Steven?
Yeah, I think. No, I think that was just a lookalike.
No, I could have sworn that was Shia LaBeouf.
It might be. I didn't watch much Disney Channel as a kid.
Unless his voice was like super deep when he was a kid.
I know he was also in. I can't fucking remember it now, but he was in a couple other movies. He was in Rear Window, or not Rear Window. Disturbia, that's what it is. A remake of Rear Window. Fantastic original, but the remake was pretty good. Disturbia is a pretty good movie. If you don't know what Rear Window is about, this guy who he gets injured and he has to basically stay in his house, and he starts getting paranoid because all he can do all day is look out his window with his binoculars and watch his neighborhood. And at first it's pretty innocuous, you know. Oh, there's Mrs. Whatever taking her groceries in with little Tommy, you know, watching everybody's daily routines. And then he notices that one of his neighbors is acting real sketchy. Like, he starts getting really paranoid and he starts going real full-on conspiracy about this guy. I'll leave it there. It's a very good kind of psychological thriller. But Disturbia it's kind of like a remake, homage, redo. It's kind of just like the same premise done for modern day, but it's Shia LaBeouf, you know, a 20-something-year-old who's got a home arrest bracelet on his ankle, so he can't leave the perimeter of his home.
That's actually a very interesting.
It's a very interesting update to it. Instead of injuring him, they just restrict him to his home. So eventually,
while giving him full mobility, yeah, that's pretty smart.
And then he eventually finds workarounds and things like that. But it's an interesting movie. I watched it in film studies. We watched Rear Window and then Disturbia because we were trying to just see, you know, the differences between, you know, the original and a remake or something that's doing an homage. I don't really know how to label Disturbia, so I'm just going to call it a remake. But you know, we're trying to look at the points between them, and you really realize that some things can be done excellent, like the home arrest thing. That's a great way to kind of update it, but allow yourself a little bit more freedom with the home and interaction. But at the same time, bringing in the younger age somehow kind of makes it a little bit less believable and kind of immature. They boost it, but also kind of diminish it at the same time.
And also, like, with technology nowadays, like, a lot of the stuff would be a lot more, like, interesting to see how it plays out.
Give it 10 years, everything we watched as kids will be remade.
Oh god.
I mean, look, the guys, the company that made the Minions is going to be making a Mario movie with Miyamoto, I think, co-producing it or producing it wholly. Or directing it, maybe.
You know,
I don't know.
I've been waiting for the Sly Cooper movie to come out since 2015.
It's coming. It's coming for sure. The trailer dropped not too long ago.
Not too long ago. I think it came out in like 2014, 15.
No. They had a new trailer. It dropped like right before Christmas, I think, in like November.
Really?
Yeah. I watched it and it was Sly bust into no. It was Sly, the turtle, and the hippo. I can't remember their names. They were trying to get to yeah, thank you, Murray and Bentley. I think they were trying to get to like a donut shop or something before it closed, and they get there late, so Sly breaks in. But is that the old one? Because I saw this pretty recently and it looked fucking great.
No, that's the old one. The old one where it's like Murray is like he's having like stomach.
Yeah. Okay. Well, damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the old one because I remember it very vividly. But like, I love those games. Like, I remember like. Sometimes I just watch like the cutscenes,
right?
Like, you know, like a cutscene only movie. Sometimes I fall asleep to that shit because the game is so fun and the premise is really great. It's like
I never got to play them. I had cousins and other people I knew that played them. I was more of a Ratchet and Clank kid, and even then I didn't play much of that. I played more Tasmanian Tiger or Devil or whatever his name was, the guy with the boomerangs. I played more of that than I played any real mainstream mascot games. I didn't even play much Mario as a kid, which was weird. Because everybody loves Mario my age, 20-somethings and 30-somethings, they love fucking Mario. Like, they grew up with it. I'm like, I didn't play a lick of Mario or Zelda, buddy. I played a lot of fucking Pokemon and a lot of Metroid. Didn't really get anywhere, but I played a lot of Metroid Prime as a kid.
Oh, yeah, trust me, I did not play Mario or Zelda that much. But I did play a shit ton of Pokemon and, like, basically, like, most of the other games,
Well, I look at it like this. I would say about people about the age of, like, 25 to 30, they're much more the Mario, Zelda range. People between about 18 to 24, they're much more of the Pokemon craze to maybe the more mainstream kind of gamer. They're the ones that were kind of there on the advent of real good first-person shooters and streamlined mechanics and games like that, when stuff was starting to really get polished in the game industry.
I think
whereas the people who are a little bit more old school are just, a little bit. Those are the people being cashed in for nostalgia right now. 25 to 30-year-olds are really the target at the moment.
Slim Cut just said, like, and possibly a Sonic movie too.
Oh god, I fucking hope not.
Oh god, do you guys remember, like, the original Sonic movie with a Metal Sonic?
No, I remember the cartoon where Sonic was voiced by Urkel. That's no good.
That's no good. You're too slow. Someone hand me a gun so I can kill myself. No, seriously, I did not like that voice.
That's when Tails is still named Miles.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only like tidbit of Sonic lore that I know. I never actually played much of the Sonic games. I remember playing like Sonic 1 because I kept being told it was really fun as a kid, and all I did was hold forward, and then I beat this first boss, and then I think I got to Chemical Plant Zone or whatever it is, the second stage and the first or second one, whatever the fuck it is. I just remember not being able to get the fuck out of there for the life of me.
Like, I played a lot of Sonic, and I didn't play much Sonic, but like I played all like the 2D ones,
right?
Except for Mania, and like apparently all the ones that everyone considers like shit, like I've never touched those or even knew they existed to this point, like until like recent years,
right?
And, like, the only like supposedly good one that came out that recently that I've played was like Generations.
I hear a lot of things about Generations, but it feels like it's kind of more like a half attempt, kind of like a cock tease, like, hey, look at this, we can make half a good game.
No, for me,
I sorely dislike 3D Sonic. Sega has a problem with 3D spaces and space and velocity. It does not work well. They have not been able to do it very well. The best fast-paced game I would say that Sega has done in a while is Yakuza, just because that is button mashing galore with combos. Like, you just trying to be as fast as you can to fight shit.
Yakuza is your game, man. I can't wait for like I want to watch you stream Yakuza 0.
I really want to, and I'm really close to the end, so I can start a New Game Plus. Like, I really want to do that, but I also want to wait on Yakuza 6 to come out, so I can be like, all right, I've got them all.
Isn't the same people who made Yakuza making Pocket no Ken?
Yes, they're making the Fist of the North Star game. Yes.
Dog, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I know. That's in the original pilot episode where I was talking about, and I included footage. When I was
like Ken shaking a cocktail.
Yeah, and he's going around fighting guys and stuff. Yeah. Basically, with that was still when I was like, all right, I'm just going to. I'm going to just have that in the background, or I'll post edit it. What I'm thinking now, what I'll do is I'll probably just either I'm thinking that I'll probably just start using a browser in the background starting like next stream, just to be like pulling up video. I don't really want to do that though, because that's how copyright strikes and shit happen. So
yeah.
So I don't know.
No Chill just asked your thoughts on Sonic Shadow the Hedgehog game.
Oh boy! All right. I bought that game day one. Not gonna lie. I had this friend as a kid who had the same name as me. He lived like in the apartment across from me, and I remember he was a huge Sonic fan, and he got me really hyped for this game. He was like, "Dude, you're gonna have guns, and you'll kill this and that." And I remember I got my parent. I think it was my dad. My dad didn't really give a shit what I played as a kid. He bought it for me. It was $40 because it was on GameCube at the time. And I remember playing through the first stage, putting it down, taking the game out, and then putting in... God, what did I put in after that? Either way, I took it out after like the first 5 minutes, and then I think my little brother tried playing it, and he just kind of turned around and was like, eh. We were like, yeah, eh. So I traded it for a copy of Pokemon Coliseum. Best trade in my life.
Oh, trust me, I would love to do that trade. But what's another game that I loved growing up? Street Fighter, fighting games. Just fighting games in general.
I sucked at fighting games, man. Until I was like 16, I was trash at them. Everybody loved playing Smash Bros. Everybody I grew up with loved playing Smash Bros. But the problem with it was I sucked ass at those games. I didn't understand like direction inputs and button timing and stuff like that. It didn't click for me. I wasn't a huge gamer until about 16. So I've always had the interest in things. But fighting games was that big one where I'm like, I want to play them and be good at them. And then just one day it flipped on for me while I was playing, I think, like, oh boy. I was playing, like, Persona Ultimax Arena or something at a friend's house, and I was just like, it clicked for me, like, oh, that's how you do that move. No, I was playing Street Fighter 2. That's right. I was playing Street Fighter 2 Remix with somebody, and it finally clicked for me, oh, that's how you do the fucking Hadouken. I was like, oh my god. And then I built upon that finally. Yeah, that was the first time that clicked for me, like 15 or 16, and I'm nearly 21, so not that long ago. It's kind of embarrassing, but I'm like, goddamn, that was kind of like an eye opener to me. I'm like, oh my god. And then I kind of understood the complexity of fighting games. I'm like, this is an insane game of rock paper scissors, like per second.
I think Slim just joined us.
Hey, what up, man?
Is this mic any good right now?
Yeah, you sound pretty good. It's a little fuzzy, but you're fine. I'm not gonna complain.
Okay, good. I was kind of worried.
Oh no, you're fine, man. If anything, I'm gonna boost you guys' audio on my end just to be sure.
Yeah, it's a good mic.
Big boost, boy.
Big boost.
Yeah. Anyways, like fighting games. Oh my god, when I first got fighting games, like I had no idea what to do, so I would just like press button mash one button.
Right.
As soon as like
me literally every time I play Smash Bros.
Basically, and then like
I don't know what I'm doing. Do I press this or do I press this?
Bro, I have a friend who actually plays on an actual competitive pro team. He's not like a Cloud9 competitive for Smash Bros, but he's like on a local team. All he does is wake up, play Smash Bros, do his daily routine, play Smash Bros, go to sleep.
Damn.
And he's insanely good at it.
I guess he likes us Smash.
He fucking loves Smash, but it's kind of... Yeah, you can hop in, no chill. I don't mind. But it's crazy just to think like, oh my god, someone can play this game and do it every day for like 4 years or professionally or for a lifetime. Like, that blew my fucking mind. That was kind of my hesitancy with fighting games kind of as a kid. Because
Trust me, dude. If I could get into Street Fighters like competitively... That's it. Life is
honestly, when I think about it, I have to assume that my taste in fighting games was ruined when I was a little kid because, alright, look, when I was a kid in the early 2000s, Wi-Fi was not a thing. Internet still had a terrible screaming noise at you every time you connect. So my experience with fighting games were these two things. The Dragon Ball Z Mugens, which were fantastic, and Simpsons Wrestling. Now, you have to understand, my experiences with two were vastly different. Simpsons Wrestling, it was a PS1 game.
What?
Yeah, God, they did do everything.
Now listen, Mugen I had gotten off a burned CD-ROM from my dad's friend who, it was, like one of the early internet pirators or whatever, not going to disclose names or anything, but he got the Mugen games on this crappy PC we had, and it played it fantastic. Like, this is when, you were lucky to have 500 megs of RAM. And this fucking ran beautifully. And I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. I didn't really know what Dragon Ball was at that point. I just knew I wanted to be a part of it. And that got me into Dragon Ball on its own. But how I got into this Simpsons wrestling game, hear me out here. I had another neighbor as a kid in the same apartment complex. Lived on another part of this breezeway, hallway. Every Friday night or so, he'd pull out his TV with an extension cord in his console, and we'd all just sit in the breezeway, just in this big concrete hallway where, you know, just natural air out by a courtyard / playground, and we just play games. You know, his parents had the front door open, they were watching TV or whatever. All of our parents were doing their own thing. It was just this little hallway where everybody knew everybody, and we just sat in it and played video games. Fucking fantastic. I miss those times. But I remember this very distinctly. We played Simpsons skateboarding, Simpsons Road Rage, and then the Simpsons wrestling game. He fucking loved the Simpsons for some reason. All of them fucking I hated them. I didn't touch skating games, I didn't touch racing games, and I didn't touch fighting games for the longest of fucking times because of that kid. He ruined me. He ruined me on all of them. I didn't understand Mugen at the time was a fighting game. I just thought, oh my god, this is amazing. I didn't have a definition for it.
Like fighting games are like a big part because my big brother loves fighting games, you know, like Street Fighter and stuff.
Yeah.
And like my cousin, he's older than my brother, but like I think like 2 years maybe. But like he was also into like fighting games, and it's like when you're growing up and like you're the kid with the console in the house, you know, like the neighbor's gonna pass by and like jump in and play.
Right.
So it's like when like 6 of us come into the house and it's like we pop in Street Fighter and like the PS3 or something, it's like everyone's taking turns, everyone's talking shit, you know, it's like got this real chill vibe. But that is when I learned how to play Street Fighter. When I didn't know, it was the shittiest game in the world to me, and like every character I played was hard. But like I would say I'm like, compared to some of the people I see actually playing fighting games nowadays, I'm like noob level.
Does anybody remember the PS2 multi-adapter? It was like a brick with a bunch of extra controller ports you plugged into your PS2.
Yes.
Thank God.
I've been looking for one of those.
They're not expensive, but they're not easy to find either. At least name brand. I have a PS2.
I've only seen one in my life.
I like a one and a tree.
Yeet. Bro, alright. So talking on rare, just random hardware, it's not really that rare, but it is harder to come by since they don't make them anymore. The Game Boy adapter for the GameCube.
I've been dying to get a PS4 for the longest time, and since it's like my new goal for this year, what I really want to play on it is Fighters. Dragon Ball Fighters is my new goal.
It's a fair goal. It's a fun game.
Fucking! I wanna play Yamcha because Yamcha is my favorite from original DB. Because I don't know, some wolves.
I will always give Yamcha this argument. All right, he had every reason to quit fighting. He had every reason. All right. All right. Hey, he found basically the girl of his lifetime. He couldn't play it straight with her. She dumped him, so he took her martial arts. He was really fucking good at it, almost prodigy level next to this child genius, and basically the child genius B-, Krillin, and everything was going good for him until his soon-to-be best friend shattered his fucking leg in half. Does anybody remember fucking Tien fucking elbow dropping or fucking breaking his leg with his kneecap or whatever it was? He broke Yamcha's leg and shattered it, and then they became BFFs right after that.
Yeah, it's fucking after the whole like King Piccolo arc. It's like, hey, are we cool? That's like, yeah, it's like you shattered my leg, dog. You fucking crippled me.
So after that point, he had his heart broken. He had his leg broken, but yet he still pursued a sports career. And then he only quit that because he was bored, because he couldn't fight. Like, he was sad because he couldn't go back to his martial arts days because his leg was fucked permanently, and he had no fucking love in his life because the only chick he ever loved dumped his ass because he couldn't be straight with her because he's terrified of women. Like, Yamcha's been nothing but fucked over.
Oh no, trust me, no.
I'm a passionate Yamcha defender.
Same here, dog, dude.
Yamcha lives matter.
Yeah. I hate when everyone shoots Yamcha. Like he died so many. The guy only died once.
He only did die once, and everybody's like, "Oh, Yamcha died again." No, he got fucking kamikazed by a fucking sneak attack off a Cyberman. Nobody knew the Cyberman could do that yet.
And the thing is, he insta killed one of them. That sneak attack.
Well, if we're going off of how Funimation and Toriyama see Yamcha. Yeah. Listen, alright, I can't remember which game it is. I think it's DBZ Budokai 3? or one where if you use the Cyberman self-explode on Yamcha, it's an instant kill.
It's the Easter egg where like it gives you the pose and everything.
Yeah, and you know, and you see it referential in the baseball episode with Yamcha, how he caught the ball, but he was laying in the same dead fucking pose.
And then like Goku even said like fucking that looks so familiar to me. And then like I think in Fighters, if like you play Yamcha against Nappa and you beat him with Yamcha, it's like this whole Easter egg where like the Cyberman jumps out and he uses a Kamehameha to blast it back into Nappa. And when Nappa like dies, he pulls the same fucking pose, and then like Yamcha does like the smile with the shine on the teeth and shit, and he's like, I'm not so weak as last time, am I?
Well, my thing with Fighters, it's a lot of fan service, and by that I mean that there's this emphasis on collecting all the interactions between characters throughout the campaign. And the campaign is not the best. The campaign is purely there to be a campaign. But you are entertained by all these different combinations of characters, so you're hopefully, enticed to come back and try different formations of characters. So, say like you have Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha in a party before you start a fight. They'll be like, man, it's been a long time since we've trained together. And Yamcha that's what Yamcha's saying. Goku's like, well, Yamcha, I don't think we ever trained together. To which Yamcha is quickly like, yeah, please don't murder me.
Yeah, and like Goku's just like fighting Bono like, oh, we should fight. And it's like, yeah, we should fight. But later. We shouldn't at the same time. Yeah, it's like
later, buddy.
Yeah, and it's like
live another day, Yamcha. Live another day.
I'm pretty sure if Goku had like no sense of morality, he would just like fight fucking anybody at any point in time, like he didn't care.
I mean, like, if we're going off the Japanese dub, or not Japanese dub, the Japanese read of everything, that's basically how Goku should be.
Like exactly, it's like
he should be just going off the cuff, not with violence, but more of with eagerness to fight. And that's kind of only been brought back with Super. Like, Z was heavy on that, but the American dub made Goku look like Superman, which he's not really. He's kind of more like, I don't know really anybody to compare him to.
Or fucking, I don't know, he's just a goody two-shoes. He's just a goody two-shoes in the American version.
Yeah, he's just a goody two-shoes in the Funimation dub. But you got to be fair though. In the Ocean dub, Piccolo was big fucking green.
I will take you to another dimension.
Like, did you guys grow up with Big Green, with the Big Green dub?
I did not grow up with Big Green or Ocean.
Snippets of the Big Green dub.
Yes, I have as well, just snippets.
I've actually never heard it in my life. I've heard the references, but I've never seen it, and I didn't believe it for the longest time. And I saw the clip eventually where it's like Big Green, and
wait, is the Ocean one where it's like push-ups, sit-ups, and plenty of juice?
Yes, I believe that's the Ocean dub.
Where Goku has a deep voice.
Yep, I believe that's it.
And Frieza's all like, I will take you to another dimension.
I also believe that the original Dragon Ball had been dubbed by Saban, where they renamed Goku Zero.
What?
I don't know if it was Saban or who, but Saban's pretty notorious for screwing up Japanese IPs anyways, but somebody had gotten the rights to air it, and they renamed Little Kid Goku Zero. I think they renamed Bulma into like a normal girl's name. Krillin and Roshi, like everybody's name got fucked up. What was it? Master Korin got renamed. They make a joke about it in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Whisker's the Wonder Cat.
Yeah, Whisker's the Wonder Cat. Yeah, that's from that dub. Yeah.
Oh fuck. What did they call Yamcha? I'm still Yamcha defender.
I don't really remember. I just remember hearing a lot of brief trivia about it. Like, Dragon Ball's a deep rabbit hole, man. It's a very deep rabbit hole.
Fucking, what I love about DBZ.
It's a rabbit hole that leads to the moon.
This is true.
Anyone wants a rabbit hole on the moon?
Nice Master Carrot reference there.
I think it's
that
isn't it Monster Carrot?
I don't care. Monster Carrot, Master Carrot. He's still on the moon making ice cream. Marshmallows, whatever the fuck he's making.
I think like in the legend it's mochi.
Yeah, he's supposed to be making mochi, but it's just rice paste. That's all it really is. So it's like ice cream, cakes, whatever it really wants to be.
Fucking is Monster Rabbit an alien now technically, or like?
Okay, if we're going by Dragon Ball Z logic, space is a vacuum still. So Goku
vacuum, yes.
Yes, Goku took him past the atmosphere with his little power pole, and basically murdered them, and then went back down. He just basically exaggerated to everybody that I took him to the moon. To be fair, a couple of years had passed with no food. They're dead regardless, unless they're eating the mochi, which I think they'd be too frightened of this child coming back and murdering them, that they just keep working. Also, space is a fucking vacuum. So, again, my theory is Goku murdered them, came down, and was so stupid he couldn't really tell them what he did. So he's just like, yeah, they're being punished.
No, it's like, you know what I think has really happened? Goku actually tried to put him on the moon, but like he didn't know where the moon was since it was clearly daytime.
No, maybe he put him on the moon, but it was like a Wilsiak situation.
No, I would say like he tried to put him on the moon. Like he thought he reached the moon, but like he didn't, and it's just like a random spot in space.
Does anybody know what Wilsiaks is?
What was Wilswa?
Wilsiaks? Alright, this is this episode of South Park where the kids go to this water park, and there's this orca whale. The guys are fucking with him, and they're like, yes, I'm from outer space, and I miss my family dearly.
And then, like, they fucking tried to
fucking whale.
Yeah, and eventually the boys manage to get a Mexican rocket to launch the whale to the moon, and they do it. But the kids are convinced that this whale is a space whale, and it will survive in space on the moon and be happy. And then the end credits come, and this thing's just decaying on the moon.
Didn't they fucking reference it in the episode when they
Kanye West? Oh no, Tom Cruise. That's what it is.
No. I think the episode with like you know when they do like doing the whole superhero thing, like the Coon and
who? Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, the one of Cthulhu.
Yeah. And like when they drilled on the moon and released Cthulhu, I think you can see the whale on the moon.
Yeah. They've always left the whale there. Someone else got launched to the moon too, and they left him there.
I forgot. I forgot. I don't know. South Park and The Simpsons. Didn't the Simpsons basically make a episode like The Simpsons Did Everything episode on the South Park?
Yes, they did that where basically Butter starts having a mental breakdown because he's just trying to play pranks basically. Evil dastardly deeds to a child, but they're just pranks. And the Simpsons have done everything.
Yeah.
But it was also. It's also a very real thing, though, with animated comedy, though. Like, if you look at it, The Simpsons has pretty much done everything. Like, it's hard to do something animated comedy on television and look at that and go, yeah, The Simpsons haven't done that. The Simpsons have done a lot of shit. I mean, just, if you're looking at the typical, or the dysfunctional American family comedy, like, anything comparable to The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, Bob's Burgers, anything like that, it's immediately Simpsons have already done it. Simpsons did it. You have to kind of go out there a little bit further, like Archer or Frisky Dingo or fucking Venture Bros, to kind of really get out of that weird bubble of expectations.
Oh my god, I miss Archer. That's
coming back this year. Last season, next season's the last one.
Fucking, they killed off what's his name again? Woodhouse?
His voice actor died, dude.
Yeah, I know. And it's like, that's so sad, man.
It's extremely sad because he died midway through the season, so when he disappeared, he's like, where the hell is he? And Archer's like, rehab. And then they don't mention it again, and somebody mentions that he ran away or something, and eventually at the end of Archer, or the beginning of Archer Noir, they mention that he's dead. But all of Archer Noir was a huge homage to his voice actor.
I think it was like Archer found him and then like used him as a body double. And then it's like, oh shit, no. And then like I searched up everything and it's like, wow, I will miss that guy. I mean, I didn't know him, but he did some great things for...
Why are you angry? Why are you angry, loser, dude? Use the appropriate emoji if you're going to be angry.
Angry.
Use Kaioken angry emoji.
That's not an emoji. Those are just numbers.
Oh God, no!
Oh, it doesn't show the custom emojis on the actual live stream. Darn.
Oh,
Doesn't
oh
it?
wait, that's
No. No, it
Critical
does. It doesn't show custom emojis. Darn. Yeah. Just has a blank space next to it. Sad days. Oh well.
critical fail.
I'm going to take a moment to check you guys' audio levels, so I'm going to mute myself. But you guys feel free to talk. I just want to make sure that everybody's around the same volume real quick.
Okay, no problem.
Default volume.
Dude, after this, I'm gonna get me some fried chicken. Hopefully, everyone should be back by then. Hold on, be right back.
I should actually go get me some breakfast. I will also be right back. I just took a look outside. It is pissing down. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Latin chanting stream. Hashtag win.
Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
I never heard of it. What's it about? Oh my.
I mean,
Ah, you clever Canadian.
they're too nice to ban, but at the same time, they're too nice to make their children know
Listen, it's pretty violent, but let's just pretend it's not actually a video game. Wink, wink. I have no clue what you just said. No, not at all.
That sounds like a Batman villain.
Isn't it? Hmm. I think Chris is
Reminds me of the war.
What the hell is that?
Sounds familiar.
Uh, nah.
Sadly. Oh.
It seems right.
I mean, it's like Shadow of Colossus like could run on the PS2. Like, pretty sure they could get away with a lot of stuff. Dear God, imagine like if they actually had an original amount of like Colossi. That game would take like so goddamn.
I've only ever seen people play the game. I've never actually played Shadow of the Colossus. That sounds cool. What was the name again? Okay, I'll definitely try that. I love mixed.
Oh, yeah. I did not play the PlayStation 2 version, but the PC version actually.
Oh yeah, I had the PC version. The PC version
I have
was
2
awesome.
copies of the PS2 version. Yeah. And the other one's fucking platinum.
Oh.
Actually, like the first
Following that damn
actual like, GTA I actually played was Vice City for the PSP. Yes.
No, just wait. What? Dog, I love
So
Vice
that,
City.
and then Chinatown Wars for the DS.
I did.
I didn't particularly like it. It was
I did
fine,
like
but not great.
Yeah, that's true.
DGD evolved.
Lol. What a digital.
I have not played that game.
That was Monster
I
Hunter.
want to try Monster Rancher games. I really want to try.
Oh, Monster Rancher. Nope.
A snuff film. Fucking.
Jeez.
I mean, I would too because like there were so many like my parents like growing up. We didn't have cable and stuff, you know, and we didn't have like Netflix and that stuff. So it's like we have like 3 boxes full of nothing but
I've
DVDs.
been fucking muted on the stream for fucking. Oh my god, I've been muted on my own stream for a fucking minute.
And we just been here silently listening.
Yeah. Well.
Stuff happens, man. Stuff happens.
Yeah, this is why I do them, so I can learn from my mistakes.
I mean, if you're recording this, then you can just like re-upload.
I don't know if I'm recording it, but I am gonna be able to. Oh shit! I really should have been recording it. See, it'll be saved to my YouTube. Well, I guess we'll just have to make up for time then. We're gonna be talking a while longer. Because if I'm going to have to pull this shit down and re-upload it, I'm going to have some time to compensate.
Well, what were we talking about again?
Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, Monster Hunter. Basically, if I had that, like, if I got that now with a PS2, I have like 3 boxes full of DVDs of different movies, and I'm just going to, like, pull a random one out, and I'm just going to be, like, loading monsters all day. Like, I'm not even gonna play like the story or anything. I'm just gonna be like popping CDs till the laser actually burns out.
To the people watching the stream, my apologies. I have myself muted. I basically decided that I was gonna start calling out PS2 games and asking people about what they remembered of it or if they had heard of it, and I'd kind of explain it. I had already gone through a good couple, and now I feel like an asshat because I was muted, and I did a good job at explaining them. Damn it.
Wait, how far along was it before you...
Between when I said, I'm going to mute you guys so I can listen for your audio levels to when I just realized. So probably about 10 minutes.
Huh.
Yeah. Shit happens, but still.
I mean, what we talked about in that I think we talked about Rampage, or whatever it was, Rogue Gallery.
Rampage, Total Destruction.
Yeah, we talked about... Mad Maestro, we talked about Rogue Galaxy, we talked about a couple others. Either way,
San Andreas.
Monster Rancher 4. Just some other ones. I'll throw in a couple more there because no audio of me there. Fucking, I'm gonna have to learn from my own mistakes hard this time. Because that was a dumb mistake. Ah, shit.
Actually,
actions have consequences.
Actually, I'm gonna be right back.
Alright. Everything just needs to... I need to just take a moment and not be a jackass. Here we go. Game Shadow of Destiny. Anybody ever heard of that?
Sorry.
Shadow of Destiny is an interesting game. I got it for $4 at a pawn shop. Basically, you're this guy who gets murdered, and you wake up again in the same day, so kind of like Groundhog Day or Loop or whatever, but you can also time travel, future and past and shit. So you basically can have many loops through different periods of time that affect each other. It's not a pretty game. Hell, it doesn't even play that well, but the premise is really interesting. I recommend just watching someone play it. It's not a good game to play. How's about Fatal Frame? I know you guys have at least seen this game.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
You know, this game cost me $35 to buy, secondhand. I don't know what the inflation is to you guys, but that's like to a fucking 16-year-old, that's a good chunk of money.
It's a lot of money.
Now, to be fair, I've actually never finished the game. It scares me. Like, I can play Silent
scary
Hill.
games for the life of me.
I can play Silent Hill. I can play fucking Amnesia. I could play this or that, but that game scares me. Damn it.
He was like, "Oh my god!" There's like this one horror game that I'm currently playing called Darkwood.
Right.
It is fucking horrifying. It's like a top-down perspective like game where like the unique like your vision is like a cone. You can't see out of that cone. Right. So anything can literally walk up behind you and smack you on the ass, straight up.
What the fuck?
And the sound design. Oh my god, the sound design is fucking perfect. It literally makes you like shit yourself at the slightest fucking noise. Like you're in like a forest and you hear a twig snap. You literally freak the fuck out looking around to see if anything wants to come up and eat your ass. Like, and like the one of the mechanics is you have like safe houses, and at night you cannot go outside at night, or something or anything will try and kill you.
Okay.
And even inside your own house, you are not even fucking safe. Cause shit could just walk into your fucking house and straight up kill you. So like you have to barricade, like gather resources during the day and barricade your shit during the night. You got bear traps, you can board up windows and doors.
Well,
so, like the beginning house and the beginning house like has this big like fucking hole in it.
Right.
So like that's gonna be a problem for you. Because literally anything can walk in and open up the door and like literally kill you.
Huh.
And it's like sometimes got like supernatural Darkwood. You should really play it. It's actually genuinely good.
I've already tabbed it. I'm gonna look at it after the stream.
Check it out, dude. It's good.
DBZ Infinite World. I know somebody here played that shit.
Oh wait, Jet's out. Sorry.
Yeah, he might leave. He's waiting on food.
You be hungry, boy.
But DBZ Dragon Ball Z Infinite World PS2. Anybody?
No.
Ah, damn. I was at least expecting no chill.
A Dragon Ball Z game. Except for like some kind of like
Infinite World?
Yeah, Infinite World.
No.
Damn. I won't say it's the best, but it's got a pretty damn big roster for a Dragon Ball game at the time. This was before Budokai Tenkaichi 3. So they had the most, I think, at the time. Or it came after Budokai Tenkaichi. I don't know which, but all I know is it has the biggest roster, technically. Fuck it, I'm just gonna start scrolling through PS1 and Dreamcast games. I know none of y'all have played anything really Dreamcast related, so like...
What was that one game where like the guy who played Spock voices like a fish with a head?
Seaman!
Oh yeah. That weirded me the fuck out when I saw that.
I had seen that a lot as a kid, and I was a kid who did not have a Dreamcast, so I look at it and go, what the fuck is this? Especially when it would come with the controller and the microphone. Oh yeah, dude. Bro, I will not even lie to you. Every time I'd ever seen that game as a small child, because it came out in 2000, 2002-ish maybe, I was like 5, maybe 6 at that time. Like, I was just like traumatized by the fact that there was a man's face on a fish. and then I later found out it becomes a frog.
Should ever see that.
It scares me.
Talked, it evolved, and it had sex with other fish.
It's a traumatizing experience. Let's see here. Time Splitters. Come on. Somebody had to play Time Splitters.
Wait, I think I've heard of that before.
Time Splitters 1 or 2. Like, 3 was alright. It's the game where you can play as a monkey and shoot each other.
Yeah.
A monkey, a clown, a fucking baby, a future man, like, whatever.
Okay, you lost me there.
Alright, basically the idea is Time Splitters is about a bunch of different time-traveling mercenaries, whatevers, traveling around time, or fracturing time. I haven't played it in a long time, so forgive me if I get it wrong. But it's one of the funnest fucking shooters on PS2. Like, if you want something to sit down with, like, old-school split screen with, that is the game I first, like, recommend to everybody. Like, Time Splitters. Time Splitters. People will say Time Splitters 2. I don't have Time Splitters 2. I have 1. But that game that was hours of my childhood, because it was like, it had blood and stuff, but it wasn't gory, and it wasn't like people yelling shit, fuck. Like, this was just in the day where GoldenEye was still like the hugest fucking thing that kids still played together. Like, at least where I was at. So this was like upgraded GoldenEye, basically.
You know, I never actually played the Nintendo 64.
I'm a reach to the screen and strangle you.
There was like an emulator on his like computer for it.
Right.
So like I used to I watched a guy play like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, like all the good. And like technically, that is where my childhood kind of came. I did not grow up with the games of that current year. I grew up with the games way before.
See, I mean, without really delving into my reasons of why I didn't have consoles as a child, mainly because my father was a piece of shit, but not getting into that too much.
Wait, I think I did have like a console as a child. It wasn't like an official one. It was like this weird bootleg fucking one.
I had emulators.
Like
my dad.
It was like pink and not pink. It was like orange and purple, and it has like this weird controller.
So here's a story for you. My dad, even though he was a piece of shit, had a drug problem, or has a drug problem, and would take my consoles like days or weeks after I get him as a child, as a present for Christmas or whatever. He was a computer nerd, or is a computer nerd. Well, his brain's too fried to still be one, but so for some reason he trusted a bunch of 10-year-old boys to have a computer in their room, you know. But we didn't really have the internet. We had like Net Zero that took like 10 minutes to boot up onto. So we played Dragon Ball Mugens, or we had the old ZNES emulator where you had the bleeding zombie hand. If anybody's used that, it's your cursor becomes the bleeding zombie hand to pick games.
I like the pinball game, and that was it.
I had that emulator, and then I think I had a Genesis emulator. So, like, you know, this was like probably like 2006, 7, maybe. Like, at this point, like, somebody had downloaded a complete collection of the console, put it on this computer, and I'm sitting there in this apartment playing this shit because I have no internet. I did not, you know, this is before the internet. I didn't know what the fuck these games were.
I gotta come back.
Alrighty, man. But, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm like, what the fuck are these games? Like, I was playing games that I don't know how to explain. Just because you see shit as a kid and you're like, well, I can play this. And then you find out later that, like, as an adult, you're like, wow, okay, nobody gives a shit about this game. It's weird. Like, for example, like on the Genesis, I believe, there were like these point-and-click, like Scooby-Doo mystery games. I was a sucker for point-and-click games as a kid. So, like, this shit was, like, up my alley. And, you know, as a kid, whatever, Scooby-Doo, cool. But I found out later that there's 2 different versions of this game. The point and click on the Genesis, and then like a platformer or something on the Super Nintendo. It was really weird to find that out because, you know, I bring it up with people and they're like, yeah, I played that on the Super Nintendo. I'm like, we're not talking about the same game. And they're like, yeah, we are. I'm like, no, this was a point and click. And then you have to kind of go the extra mile to the YouTube page and be like, no, this was a fucking point and click. I'm sorry, as an extended tangent. But, what have you been up to, no?
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. You missed my tangent on the Scooby-Doo point and click.
What?
Alright, so, there's this point and click game on the Sega Genesis. It's a Scooby-Doo game. It comes with 2 mysteries in it. And, it's just a point and click game, but it has Scooby-Doo characters. But at the same time, this was also released as an entirely different game under the same name on Super Nintendo. On Super Nintendo, I believe it's known as just like a platformer or something like that. And on the Genesis, it was a point-and-click kind of game. Like the real traditional point-and-click where you had like the grid that you had to like swap through, like talk to, pick up, put down, like all that crap. And whenever I try talking about it to people, they're like, yeah, I played that. And they tell me I played this, you know, the Super Nintendo version, and it's kind of like, okay, now we have to go through the hoops of proving to you that we did not play the same game as children, and that we've been lying to each other for years. I don't know why they did that to a Scooby-Doo game, but they did. Confuses the fuck out of children. I'm not gonna explain this a third time.
Don't they know kids are very smart?
Well, yeah, but like if you're trying to talk to your friend at school, maybe at like age 10 or 11 when this has come out, and they have a Super Nintendo and you have the Genesis, and you both bought the game, two completely different experiences. You would have completely confused two children who didn't know any better. Thank God that kind of shit doesn't happen anymore, but like probably pre-64 days, like that shit happened a lot.
When I was 7, I had an Atari.
When I was 7, I had a Game Boy Color, and I played Pokemon Silver like 20 times until I went to like a basketball game because I was on a basketball team as a little kid. I was on like a bunch of teams as a kid. My dad wanted me to be a sports kid. I am not. But
when I was 7, I played with sticks and
this kid was obviously a dumbass, but he was like 3 years older than me, so he thought he was ripping me off. He was like, "Hey, I'll trade you my Pokemon Crystal for your Pokemon Silver." And I went, "Hell yeah, sure." Yeah. Now, obviously, this 10-year-old wasn't informed. And I wasn't either, but I came to find out a couple years later that I got the better end of the deal. So, joke's on you, William, if you're listening. You're not, but...
He used to remember his name.
Yeah, that was his name.
I remember this.
My name is William.
I remember this tale I heard.
Yeah, let me hear the tale.
Couple of guys. Like, I heard this on a bit of a Nuzlocke video I was watching about a year back. They were both playing. No, one had leaf green, the other one had one had green, one had blue, one had red.
Right.
Fucking they came to a trade. The guy had a Pidgeotto, the other one had a Spearow. And let's just call the other guy Alex. Fucking Alex was like, "I'll trade." It's like, "See the Spearow? You can't get it in your game. It's only available in mine," which was great. Oh, which was blue.
Yeah, blue.
So,
You
like,
can
they
get Spearows.
Yeah,
I think.
but like what he didn't know at the time was like the first guy, he didn't know that Spearow was like common as fuck. So like they traded, and like bloody Alex just like, "Haha, you've been fooled. You're not getting a Pidgeotto back." And so like what he what he'd done is that he took Alex's Spearow and he trained it up to like level 18 or 20, like when it evolves into Pharaoh. And then when they next met, he fucking steamrolled his entire team with it.
I mean, in Generation 1 games, Fearo's a pretty damn good flying type. Like, Nidoking and Fearow were, like, very intimidating, and Mewtwo. Those are, like, the three that I would say don't fuck with. Especially red, blue, yellow.
Nah, Fearow was overpowered back in the...
Aerial Ace, Fly, fucking, I can't remember if you could learn Swords Dance or not, but... Either way, with Aerial Ace and Fly, it was just because of how not really balanced those games were. Like, Mewtwo was... The only thing Mewtwo was vulnerable against was bug types. And
bugs didn't have that many bug attacks.
Yeah, there was no bug attacks in the original game. I
not
think.
Even,
no, there were. There were bug attacks. I'm mistaken. Just very mistaken about that. One moment.
They just weren't many.
Yeah, I'm gonna check my audio real quick. 1 second, I'll mute myself again.
Anyone want a Mugen roster?
Put Yamcha on it.
I will take a Mugen roster if I can figure out how to get it to work.
Yeah, how do
Don't worry, fam. It's a complete Mugen roster that I did myself. Could use a few more stages maybe. It's currently uploading to my fucking Google Drive because it's like a gig.
Wait. You guys, imagine this. If we made all our D&D characters, that would be so cool though.
If we made them?
If like we put all our D&D characters as like fighting game characters.
Oh.
I mean, mine is dead at the moment.
It's
so.
something like doing the sprites.
like fucking Eric's ultimate would be like summoning God.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that, but Eric is also dead. I'm trying to just forget about Eric. Move on from the good old character. Let him die.
Gotta make his ultimate a dragon summon.
And then he goes splat.
It just kamikazes into his opponent.
No, like someone's ability, like Theodore would summon illusionary dragon, an Easter egg. When Eric was attacked by it, he would die.
Anyways, let's see here.
Oh, dog! My characters would be so cool for that. You got a sword guy with 2 swords and a gun.
What's the oldest scary movie or horror movie or monster movie you've seen?
Monster House.
Monster House.
I gotta really think about it.
My mom told me
Alien.
I watched that movie.
Like, which one would I consider like the ultimate like scary movie that I've seen? Because not watch.
Well, I meant oldest, but Ultimate works as well.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, when I was young, I wasn't into horror movies as I currently am today. But like, because like I was cowering in fear most of the time. So, fuck, man. What would be my oldest horror movie? I probably repressed it. I can't answer that. I'm just scared.
Fair enough. Man, see, for me, I mean, oldest one I've seen is probably like the original like 1930s The Mummy, but 40s whenever that came out. But like ultimate horror movie, I wasn't alive then. It's the oldest one I've ever seen, full on, I believe. I mean, I've seen Cabinet of Dr. Whatever his name, Calvari, but it doesn't. Oh, that's very short. And To the Moon, I've seen To the Moon. That's like 1920s. So I don't know. I've seen a lot of really old movies, but like pinnacle top movies like Aliens, bro. Like Aliens is like my top.
Does Predators count?
I mean, if you really want to, that's more of an action movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It felt more action than actual horror.
Aliens isn't really horror. It's just more of like suspense. Like you really are left hanging a lot of that movie, just waiting for shit to happen. And when it does, it happens. Like the sound design in that movie is just too good. I will harp on that forever. Watch Aliens with headphones on, and you won't regret it.
I probably will, because then I can't sleep for months.
Like I love the sound design in Alien and Aliens, but when they put it in Alien Isolation, the game, that I'm not gonna lie. I was that like a little pansy playing that game. I was live streaming it, and I was like, yeah, I'll play more. And my hearts of hearts, I'm going, I'm never fucking playing this live because I'm gonna piss my pants. Playing that game with headphones on is terrifying. Like, it truly is. The fucking xenomorph is just... the sounds it makes. They did a very good job at letting you know, hey, it's on your ass.
Dog, I've wanted to play that game since it came out, but then, like, up until this point, I still want that game. Because I think they said, like, the alien learns from what you do.
Yeah. If you hide a lot, it starts becoming more... Well, I mean... It has this AI ability to hunt, where it's based off of more hearing-based things than sight. So it doesn't have a cone in front of it that it looks for you. It's based off of kind of like this bigger surrounding AOE of sonar, where it kind of listens for you. So if you're more brash and try running around, the alien will slowly adapt to just be like intercepting you in the open hallways. But if you're like really sneaky and shit like that, the alien will learn to try to intercept you in like vents or in closed rooms where you can't escape. But a lot of the time, you can still always outsmart the thing just by staying silent and hidden.
I think can't it smell you though? It's not a major part.
It can hear your breathing.
What? Then I guess. I mean, imagine if a xenomorph actually came to Earth. That would be so messed up.
We'd be dead. We wouldn't be dead, but there'd be a lot of people dead before that thing died.
at least, I mean, like, entire towns would be, like, wiped out before that thing is even discovered.
Now, alright. Looking at it as a universe where the movie Alien never came out and no one knew what this was, before we found out that fire hurt it, probably about 10 minutes. Tops. As humankind, fire is like a go-to for bad things.
Oh, trust me, yeah. I mean, like, eventually someone would burn us. Like, I mean, if someone is trying to escape it,
you believe in a different deity than me? Burn their entire civilization!
You believe your skin is a different color than mine, I will burn you to death.
Basically.
It's black, burn it!
I mean, the Norse had a pretty good idea about it. Just setting your dead body on fire and kicking you off into a lake.
It will die immediately.
Friggin' I just want to see what happened if, like, we got, like, a bunch of people together and, like, just put a xenomorph in there and no one knows. Just, like, see how this plays out. Like, an entire
there's a xenomorph out on the dude.
Like, I'm not gonna put children in there because I know children are gonna die, like, ASAP.
You know the thing I said? It'll be funny.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of kids run away from his...
Oh god, no.
A bunch of kids run away from a xenomorph, oh god.
Just fucking like 5 of them were trying to run away, like the South Park crew, and like
I wouldn't criticize. Don't you know to kill the fire, you dumb little shitheads?
No, like we're in a one-way glass and we're like, burn it, you fucks! Burn it, you tiny fuck!
Burn it, you Riri's!
You know what I haven't seen in a while?
One you guys are sky.
You know what I haven't seen in a while?
No, I haven't.
A quality anime.
Do you know what I won't be seeing for a while?
Pussy.
The world?
Everything else, because I just looked at the fucking sun.
Well, welcome to the world of the blind, my friend.
I'm too used to looking at it with shades.
Burn out the sins that he's seen.
It burns out his retinas, he's just blind. For reals, have you gone blind? Because, like...
Not recovering. Just got them little visual burns.
I don't like them be deaf sometimes.
Fucking someone, TN just hit your boy No Chiller Solar Flare.
Sorry, TN, borrowing your move. No one's sorry they borrowed his move. Everyone's stolen it from TN. They always apologize when they use it, but it's like, you're not apologizing to TN, so what the fuck good is the apology? He's like 200 side, he might be on the other side of the earth when he used this shit.
Like TN just has like a third sense for the solar flare. He's just like a third extra
sense.
Yeah,
he sneezes like somebody's talking about him.
No, like his third eye just lights up and it's just like, the solar flare is being used without me. And then, like,
he gets like a staph infection in his third eye.
his third eye just turns really dry.
It's just like, god damn it.
It's like Krillin uses the solar flare times 100.
He loses the contact for his third eye.
No, he just goes completely blind. He lost his third eye.
Has anybody seen any good anime lately? I've been on kind of a hunt. I've been watching a lot of like random shit, but I've been kind of.
I don't think I found any masterpieces yet. I've been watching like recently. I've only been watching Nambaka, Boruto, Pokemon Sun and Moon. Oh, that's a really good one, actually. Like, Pokemon Sun and Moon is actually pretty entertaining. And Nambaka. Wait, did I already say Nambaka?
Yep.
I feel like I already said them.
Yeah,
Black Clover.
I've been watching Black Clover, but it's not like I've been watching it intensely. I've been just kind of passively watching it because it comes out the day after Dragon Ball or whatever. So I'm just like, all right, because most of the time I don't see Dragon Ball the day it releases. Like, I probably won't watch it tonight, but I'll probably watch it tomorrow or Monday.
I'm gonna try to stay up tonight. I'll be talking to Wendy, but I'll be up. And I'll watch it when it comes on. I'll just like leave the call for a sec.
Personally, I don't want to fucking see it because if what I think happens, Vegeta gets knocked out, I'm gonna be really fucking annoyed.
Can anyone else see that Frieza's obvious? Can everyone else see that Frieza's obviously gonna plan a sneak attack on Goku to get rid of him? Like,
no,
as soon as
this is what's gonna happen. All right, and I'm calling this as my own theory, but it's a little too damn good not to fucking happen. Right, and I don't mean this as like a, oh, it's my theory, so it has to happen. I mean this as like, look, it's gonna happen where Vegeta is gonna fight Jiren. Vegeta will get knocked out. Goku and Jiren are gonna be fighting. They're going to be going like all out. We're gonna get a nice fight episode, but then time's gonna run out, and either Goku will be on the brink of falling off, or they will both be exhausted and can't fight, and Universe 7 will win due to the one technicality that Frieza's still in the ring somewhere, so it's a 2-1. Frieza doesn't dare get involved anymore. He's had his ass beat by Toppo. If he decides to hop in there and be like, ho ho ho, on fucking Jiren, Jiren will just beat his ass and throw him out of the ring.
I think
he won't fuck around with him.
I think Frieza's made it pretty clear that he ain't gonna fuck with Jiren.
Yeah, I think Frieza's made it pretty clear that he's just gonna be the slimy little bastard he is and hide. He's just gonna hide and wait it out.
He's a slimy little freaky alien genotype.
My main concern really is that if they knock him out and it turns into a Goku v Jiren thing, I won't care. Apparently there's spoilers about one of the episodes talking about Jiren's past, but I just don't care at this point.
Like, give us that as like a side story, like afterwards or some shit like that.
Or maybe before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe give us, like, when they were doing the glimpses into their universe, like, maybe have Jiren have kind of a couple, like, moments where he's just kind of flashing back to shit, and then do the full flashback when it's appropriate. Like, that's my problem with Dragon Ball. Every time they flash back, they do it wrong. You can use flashbacks effectively. Like, they could have used flashbacks to build up Gohan, and then let Gohan actually have his day to fucking shine. But, no. He just decided to double KO himself with Dispo.
Okay, I wanted Gohan to actually be like in the final fight and like actually prove his worth by like at least taking down Jiren like halfway or some shit. You know, like actually putting up like a really good fight.
But Gohan will never have his day, and 17's going to get knocked out tonight, regardless. That's a given. That's from the episode title.
Let's be fair. After the Cell saga, Gohan really wasn't going to get any more screen time.
I mean, he got all of the Majin saga, basically.
No, not really. Come on, I mean...
Up until the end.
Come on, I mean, after he unlocked his ultimate potential after the whole Z-Sword thing, it's like... You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Boo still absorbed him. I mean, he was still on screen. I mean, Boo used his power. I mean, they had to go in and rescue him. And then he was still trying to fight afterwards. So, like, Gohan still had a lot of screen time through the Majin arcs. He was very underutilized. That doesn't mean he wasn't there. It just means he didn't do what he could have done. I think in my opinion, Mystic Gohan, or whatever the fuck you want to call that.
I call him Mystic Gohan because that's the most
Some people call him Full Power Gohan. All I think that does is let his balls drop. Because all he does is, all he gets from that is a better attitude about fighting, a cockier attitude. That's literally all he gets from it. Like, yeah, he gets stronger, but he's been strong since he was a kid. Like, he didn't really unlock anything, though. Like, yeah, the Mystic Kai did his, or the Grand Elder Kai did his training on him or whatever, but, like, Goku is still stronger than him without the unlock bullcrap. So,
his balls drop, a bang drops, and his attitude drops. That's it.
Like, I look at it like, okay, yeah, this was important for all but like 5 minutes. Go on. Thank you for the side tour.
5 minutes of screen time up. Let's move on to back to Goku.
Anyways, I mean, I'd like to hop off of Dragon Ball in general. That's this whole that's a podcast on its own. Fuck.
Dragon Ball podcast 100.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. Might do that tomorrow, to be honest. Let's see here. Maybe I'll throw a couple more games out there and see if anybody's heard of them. Driver. Anybody? Really? Damn. It was like the OG open world like driving game. Resident Evil 2.
Drivers. I know that.
Isn't that the one in Raccoon City?
Yes. 2 is in Raccoon City, but so is 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Well, you're in luck. They're doing a remake of it. It's still going smoothly. So, you know, that'll probably happen.
Only time can tell. True.
Capcom, I loved you growing up. Please don't fuck with me. I beg of you.
They're gonna fuck you. Sorry. Well, actually, no. Capcom's pretty good about stuff. I mean, look at Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World's pretty good. Like, there's a couple technical gripes, but it's pretty damn good. All in all.
Yeah, I mean, Capcom is like the same way. Like, think about all the companies we had like growing up, like Capcom. Freaking all of those companies nowadays look like mistakes.
Right.
And it's like, if you look back at like their main games, it's like pretty fun. Like, think about Capcom was like the master at arcade games. Like, if you go back,
What I miss?
like 90% of arcade games back then was Capcom, and it was all pretty solid. And like Konami was so good at like everything they did.
It wasn't Konami. It was more so the people making games under the Konami umbrella. I mean, not to discredit Konami, but they've always kind of been very stress-inducing about their work schedule, to be completely fair. And they take a lot of credit where credit wasn't due for them.
True that, true that.
Like, especially with the Metal Gear franchise, that's its own damn can of worms, but, you know, I'll go ahead and just mention it as is. They gave Kojima his platform to release games out on. They gave him his budget, you know, his group to make games with. But all in all, they basically ended up trying to say that they created Metal Gear, where it's like, no. You know, you can use the title all you like, but what made Metal Gear was Kojima.
Wait, did they make the one with Raiden as like Cyborg Ninja? Did Kojima make that one?
I believe that was just Konami produced. I don't think he actually made that.
I had a feeling, like Kojima always had this like realistic style about him. You know, it's like, yeah, it's all super like secret and like spy and like, you know, but like he always kept it in a realm of reality. Say.
Right.
Yeah, but like to the point when like Metal Gear Rexes were like getting fucking breakdance defeated and shit, it was like, just fuck off. You don't get. That wasn't cool.
Oh well. I mean, we're hitting pretty close to the 2-hour mark. I think we'll just keep chatting, and once we hit the 2-hour mark, we'll call it good. Some guy in the chat says, "Kill yourself, JK, hi, hi." I don't know how to pronounce that third one.
Ain't he a funny little boy, ain't he?
Hold on, let me go on my phone and check this kid so I can beat him up myself.
No, I don't care. I'm just like looking at him like, hey, look at a new person.
Beat him up.
Beat his ass.
But first, we gotta buy a plane ticket.
Break his fucking knees.
You hear that, friend? We're coming for you.
I just break his fucking.
You will regret the day you missed it for us.
Oh wait, it's John. Hey John, that's my friend.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm still coming. I'm gonna come break your fucking legs, though.
Yeah, no, we're still gonna break your legs.
Yeah, John, we're still gonna come to New York and break your legs.
I mean, he's in the States, so I mean, like, that's a lot closer to me.
Chris, you know what to do.
Get a tire iron and hitchhike like 11 states.
You know, I had to do it to him.
Basically, he tried to say hi, Ishi, but like put a G and a slash in there.
Hey, I was looking, I was like, what? Brain melt. But if he's a friend of yours, I mean, like, regardless, anybody who views this is welcome to join the Discord. I just offer it because it's just a space that.
I posted it in Bianca's private group.
Okay. Well, I will anticipate new users at some point. But we've had, let's see here, 2 people join the last couple of days. They just showed up and left immediately. I was really confused.
Oh yeah, there were like 2 people. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then there was the other guy who.
Wait a minute. This guy isn't famous.
Oh, there's the other guy that we got banned. We banned him.
He isn't Chris O'Neill. He's just Chris.
What are you talking about?
Hey, that kid isn't Ding Dong. He's just some random N-word. Guys, let's blow this joint. That's basically how it went in my head.
What if Crash married the Bamboozler? The Hamburglar would have been born.
Did my laugh really sound that high pitched?
Probably. I don't know. I'm not gonna try and imitate.
Was Crash the son of Sans and Pirate?
Who has the feedback?
My friend is afraid he was a surrogate father.
Surrogate father? What the fuck?
I'm smelling something really good. Really good in my house.
That's you. Oh wait.
Like really good. I think my mom is cooking something. God damn, my stomach is melting. No wait, that's Chinese food.
Oh, am I hungry or is that just Chinese going through me?
My mom is killing one of my dogs and cooking it.
Goddamn!
Oh, no. Those goddamn Ching.
She isn't even Chinese.
Well.
Wait, can you say the word chink?
I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing. Are you talking about chinking in armor?
Like the word chink, isn't that like a racial slur?
It is, yes. If you're not referring to something that's like a chink of armor.
Oh.
Chink in armor, my bad.
Well, we call, where I'm from, we call bed bugs chinks.
Ah. See, where I'm from, we call them, we call them something that is deadly close to something else that is a hot topic word in America that I'm not even going to say. Starts with CH and it ends in a double GGER.
I'm tempted to say it, but I'm not say it.
I'm not even gonna take the fucking gamble. Sorry. Like, if you're from the States and you've been anywhere remotely fucking country, you know what I'm talking about.
I want to say the word, but
it's just CHIGGER. There. That's all it is.
We don't even call Chinese people Chinese in Trinidad. We say Chinese.
Yeah, I call them people. Not to get all PC on you, it's just I got in trouble for that once.
Those people.
We don't add the Z's, the like E's part. We just say Chinese. Hey, that Chinese woman walking on the street there, right?
I had somebody I knew once.
Yeah, my friends are in the gym, and it's a common thing to say like you don't see a pregnant Chinese woman. So like me and my friend were in the gym, right? I think this was like Wednesday. I think it was. And
we don't get none of those Chinese around here.
And next thing you know, we're in the gym, we're working out, and then my friend just like slaps me on the arm in the middle of a workout. I'm like, dog, what the fuck? And he's like, hey, Ishmael, you seen that Chinese woman over there pregnant? And I was like, holy shit. And then he was like, he said, apparently she works in a Chinese restaurant down the street from the school. We go there all the time, and it's like, we've actually seen one. We can die in peace now. And then
I mean, how else would they repopulate?
Chinese are real.
And then in my head it's like, wait a minute. If there's a pregnant Chinese woman, that means there was a Chinese man with a big old ding dong.
Oh my.
I think you're overthinking this a little bit. I mean, it's still a crapshoot. Like the odds are still 1 in a million to get pregnant. It's just it happens. That is the whole point. That is the miracle of life. That it's such a low odd that when it happens, it's basically like, oh well, we got two choices. One's 18 years, and the other is a 2-hour trip.
Wait, does that mean you can nut in a girl and she won't get pregnant?
I would not bet my money on it, but theoretically, mathematically, and biologically speaking, yes. I do not recommend it because every person I've ever known that said, "Yeah, I nutted in her," they've gotten their girlfriend pregnant.
Well, there's only one way to find out ourselves. I'm joking.
I don't. I don't encourage it.
All goes wrong. Get a co-hanger and some baseball bat.
Wrap it and tap it.
Ejaculate and evacuate.
Corn dog and it's better than nothing.
Ejaculate and evacuate.
You know that you run from.
Oh god, I gotta use that one. Fucking
Evacuate.
One of my good friends was telling me the story where he was like half drunk, and he was like doing it, and then the condom broke, and he just like
no.
he freaked out.
That is the immediate scare of any man mid hump. Is the feel of the plastic tear, and you're just like, oh no, because your immediate choices there are to just push her off of you, away from you, and just be like, okay, nope, need a safety minute, or you keep going like an idiot.
Basically, he took it one step further than option A and ran the fuck out and ran home, like full speed. Like
that's a little excessive. He could have just been like, well, this broke, but I did not do the thing.
No.
Did not put the baby gravy in.
He was half.
I didn't come in, you bitch.
He's like half drunk at a party. Just like he went straight home, and like all week till he found out like if she was or not. He was like, we were making a bunch of jokes about him being a dad, and he was like getting gray hairs.
Bro, honestly, it will traumatize you. It really will, because you think about it and you start getting stressed out about it.
Like, trust me, he is like 99% alert anytime this is happening. Like I joke about going to get laid, and he's just like 100% serious face. Dog, make sure. I'm telling you, make sure. He like it changed him. It woke him. His pain woke him.
Pain become woke. Well, we just broke about the 2 hour and 3 minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and call this for now.
I mean, it got a little slow to the end.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, 2 hours is a good going. I'm still bummed out that I had myself muted for God knows how long. I'm thinking I'm just going to leave it how it is and do better next time. But I'll probably end up streaming probably some... I want to say Yakuza, but I really should finish Yakuza 0 and just get to the New Game Plus.
Well, Chris, I think you should like play it out like 100% and then enjoy it. Like,
well, I mean, I'm at like 98%. All right, and the last two things that like I need to do, I can do in New Game Plus. They'll just be a little harder. That's all.
Yeah, don't worry though. As soon as like you finish and get like 100%, it's like, okay, I can stream it now. New Game Plus. It'll be fun.
I mean, like the important stuff for New Game Plus that I haven't done, I can more or less still do. It's just there's one fight that's completely optional. It's a bonus thing. It gets insanely hard on New Game Plus, and the other thing is just a lot of side game stuff, a lot of mini game expansion stuff, or your job stuff. So I mean, a lot of that stuff can be done in New Game Plus. It's just kind of more so like, should I do it beforehand or should I just go ahead and do it anyways? There's actually only one thing I actually have to 100% do before I'm done, and that's just to unlock one fighting style for somebody, because throughout the game you're basically given 2 jobs for each character, and then once you beat the jobs in completion you unlock a secret fighting style for each character. I need to at least do that because that carries over, I think, to New Game Plus, if I'm not mistaken. It might not, but for safety reasons, in case it does, I'm going to get it and then beat the game.
I love games where they allow you to customize higher characters.
Well, I mean, in New Game Plus, you get all kinds of costumes and stuff that you can wear. While you're playing the base game, you're not allowed to change your costume, which sucks.
Omae Shindu.
But I will go ahead and stop streaming. Thank you guys for hopping in here and hanging out. It's been a pleasure. And I'm going to aim to probably do this maybe same time next week.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I'm down if I'm, like, free.
Alrighty, guys. Well,
I'm always free.
I'll catch you guys in a minute because I'm about to end the stream.